Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Today's hearing has given us the opportunity to highlight the important work that this committee is doing to ensure child welfare agencies and those in the foster care system have the resources and the tools that are needed to provide care to those most vulnerable. The reauthorization of Title 4B provides an opportunity to discuss ways in which we can introduce program efficiency and modernize child support programs. During our hearing last November on strengthening child support enforcement, one of our witnesses, Ms. Turetsky, cited the State Department's passport denial program, which prohibits passport renewal or replacement for parents who owe more than $2,500 in child support, as one of the most effective mechanisms that the federal government has to enforce past due support obligations. That's why I introduced the Ensuring Children Receive Support Act to expand this effective program by not only prohibiting renewal of a passport, but by requiring that the passport also be revoked. We need outside-the-box ideas to ensure our children have the resources they need and deserve. And this serves as a prime example of the type of effective child welfare program that we should aim to advance as we move forward with reauthorization. We need to be elevating policies and programs like the passport denial program that are proven to work effectively. Mr. Geen, given your experience, what are some key strategies or policies that you believe can help improve the overall quality of child welfare services? We have heard from some of our members on the other side of the aisle that it's about money, that we need more funds. I can't tell you how often I'm in office and everybody who comes into my office, we need more money. I would remind the panelists, the members here, that a lot of times when we throw more money at a problem, it increases the cost while decreasing the care and decreasing the quality. I can give you examples in healthcare, I can give you examples in education where that's the case. It's not always about the money. Tell me how we can more effectively help the industry and how we can be more supportive without just throwing more money at it.
So I'll start with, I agree with you that it's not just about the money, it's how that money is spent. And so one of the questions is, we talked earlier about the disproportionate amount of federal funds that are allocated for foster care and adoption, and you're reauthorizing a program that is 4% of federal funds for child welfare. How do we figure out a way to be able to incentivize the performance of states to achieve the outcomes we want for kids and still be able to maintain the level of federal investment? Today, if you prevent a child from going into foster care, you actually lose the federal investment on the foster care side by spending prevention money. So that's not how caseworkers think. They don't make a decision based on whether they're getting federal reimbursement. But the ability to keep a child out of foster care is based on what else is out there. And part of the challenge is, as we try to reduce something, we have to increase something else.
Yeah, I appreciate
That's where the new money is actually needed. It's not a permanent increase. It's an ability to shift what you're doing from the status quo to best practice.
All right, thank you. Earlier this year, an alarming article highlighted Texas's expenditure of over $250 million on housing foster children in unsafe, unregulated facilities following the termination of parental rights. Federal court documents and testimonies revealed that these facilities often lacked essential services, including basic necessities such as readily available food and consistent supervision, crucial for the state's most vulnerable foster children. Astonishingly, the budget allocated no funds for mental health treatment. Despite extensive documentation, these youths have high mental health needs and exhibit aggression. This situation highlights a challenge that states across the country are grappling with a shortage of placements for foster care with mental health needs. Texas ranks among the top states for kids in foster care with more than 31,000 children in the system, most of whom suffer neglect, drug abuse by a parent, and physical abuse. The further mistreatment and lack of proper care for these kids is inexcusable. Ms. Hilton, from your experience, what are the outcomes for youth placed in these kinds of facilities?
Thank you for highlighting that article, and it's so concerning what foster youth have experienced. The outcomes for this youth are horrible, and children are being abused and dying in these kind of facilities, and just surviving is the best case scenario. I feel grateful where I am in life after my experience, but most don't end up having access to education, and they end up homeless, having trauma, and a high percentage commit suicide because they don't know how to deal with the experience. The government is paying for this abuse, and we must stop it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hilton, and I yield back.
Thank you.